Twist of Fate Sunday 18th of July 2021 Update on Z World. Bikram asking Pallavi and BG to stop fighting else he will throw something. He throws the something on the ground. Pallavi tells that BG is pushing her and tells that throws the flowers on BG which is kept for the marriage. BG also throws the things at Pallavo. Bikram tries to stop the fight. Mr. and Mrs. Chaubey get worried for Maya and wonder if the marriage will really happen. Bikram tells BG that she will get hurt. Alia's kidnapper comes there. Alia tells that her little princess is going to be married. I am really happy. Beautician asks what will happen with the bride sitting outside. Rhea asks her to take her money and leave, it is none of her business. Alia's goon calls her. She asks her to come behind the mandap and tells that she is coming there. She asks him not to make anyone doubtful. He says he is coming. Alia asks Rhea to get ready to sit in the mandap and says Shadi Mubarak. Aryan thinks to hide Maya somewhere. Alia hears him and peeps in the room. She thinks why did she feel that she heard Aryan's voice, but nobody is here. Dushyant comes to the mandap and shoots in air. BG and Pallavi stop fighting and get close to Vikram. Dushyant asks what is all this. He gives bangles to Mrs. Chaubey and asks her to make Maya wear it. Vikram tells that their small fight came to mandap. Dushyant says now you have to clean the mess in the mandap and tells that they like fight will see their fight after marriage. He asks Pandit Ji to come. Pandit Ji tells that mandap has become impure and asks them to set it first. Dushyant asks Mr. Chaubey and his wife to take Ranbir and Maya Prachi to room. Alia's goon come there and talks to her. Dushyant asks Vikram, Pallavi and BG to set the mandap. Vikram says how we can do this. Alia asks the goon to do the kidnapping. Goon asks for the bride's pic. Alia stares at him. Goon says bride will look like a bride, sorry. Alia asks him not to call her until he kidnaps Maya. He says okay. Shahana asks Sarita Bayan if she is drunk and asks why you want to get Maya marry Ranbir. Sarita Bayan tells that Prachi was with Ranbir in the mandap. Shahana asks what do you mean? Dushyant sees Alia and asks her to set up the mandap along with others. Alia recalls his threat and a FB is shown. Dushyant asks if she will set up the mandap or go to side and have tea and samosa, then I will come with you. Alia says if he comes behind me then he will know Rhea and my secret and thinks to set up the mandap. She says she will set up the mandap. He asks her to do and thinks he shall keep eye on her. Mrs. Chaubey is taking Prachi to room and tells that Pallavi and BG are mad to fight during the marriage. She says BG's bone will not set if broken. She says Big Mad is my daughter who has kept Mon brat today. Prachi says stop it. Mrs. Chaubey asks did you say anything? She then says you will not speak due to your fast. Alia's goon, Madan comes there and thinks this is his first experience to kidnap the bride and thinks if he does the work well then he will get many contracts. Dashareth is with Ranbir and says I don't understand what my daughter saw in you that she liked it. Ranbir says I don't know, I told all her about my bad qualities, tells that he drinks, flirts with girls and also a bad guy, but she liked me. Dashareth says my daughter is having a clean heart and that's why she has chosen Loafer, you. Ranbir says don't call me Loafer. Dashareth tells that his marriage with Maya is right. Ranbir tries to go. Dashareth stops him and asks what do he wants. Ranbir thinks to call Prachi and thinks Maya's mother might be with Prachi. Dashareth takes his mobile and says your battery is dead. Ranbir takes back his phone. Alia comes to Rhea and shows the dress to her. Rhea thanks her. Alia asks her to keep some thanks to say in the party which she will throw for her. Rhea tells that she will plan surprise for her. Alia asks her to get ready. Rhea thinks Ranbir's name is in my destiny and everyone will know this after marriage. Mrs. Chaubey takes Prachi to room. Aryan is already there. She asks him what is he doing in bride's room. Aryan says he thought this is groom's room and asks if the marriage happened. Mrs. Chaubey says no. Prachi thinks where did Aryan hide Maya and thinks to check in the bathroom. She goes inside and checks for her. Mrs. Chaubey gets her mother-in-law's call and attends it. Meanwhile Madan comes to room and searches for Maya. He finds her unconscious behind the sofa and thinks how did she faint. He takes her in the bag and keeps under the trolley. Mrs. Chaubey comes there and asks what is he doing here. He tells that he is taking her daughter's laundry clothes. Mrs. Chaubey says okay. Dashareth calls Chot Damad Ji to Aryan and asks him to go and be in front of guests so that someone likes him. Ranbir says you wants to ruin his life too in my marriage. Mr. Chaubey says you jokes a lot and tells that Dushyant is calling him. Ranbir takes Aryan's phone. Aryan asks him to tell Prachi that Maya is in the bride's room and tells that he couldn't hide her properly. Ranbir says okay and asks him to handle father-in-law, as he don't want to take Ram's father name. He calls Prachi. Prachi finds her phone ringing and picks his call. Ranbir thanks her and asks if you are fine. Prachi says yes and tells that his sass is troubling her. Ranbir says I am marrying you and my sass is Maya's mother. She says she will end the call. Ranbir asks her to be careful as Maya is in the bride's room. Prachi says Maya's mother is outside and if she sees then it will be a problem. Dashareth asks what is happening. Ranbir tells that he is searching the charger. Rhea asks the beautician to give her bridal dress. Beautician asks her to eat pizza and covers the veil on her head. Rhea says I am looking beautiful and drops her pizza on the dress. She gets tensed and says it will take time to clean. She asks beautician to clean the dress with tissue papers. Madan sees her and thinks if she is the bride. He thinks to ask Alia and confirm whom to kidnap, but she doesn't pick his call. Madan thinks he has to kidnap her also and thinks Hanuman Ji had lifted the mountain when he couldn't find the herbs. Rhea tells herself what you have done, you have spoiled your wedding dress. Just then Madan comes inside, shocking Rhea. Rhea asking the kidnapper Madam, how did he come here? She tells that if he touches her then it won't be good. He asks her to be quiet and tries to put the handkerchief on her nose. Rhea says you don't know who am I. I will shout. He holds her and makes her smell chloroform. Rhea faints. Madan thinks to take her from here. Shahana tells Sarita Bayan that if she had not told her before that she is Prachi and not Maya. She says nobody can be good for Ranbir than Prachi. Sarita Bayan says you didn't give me a chance to say and tells that Maya will not come back. Prachi and Ranbir will marry in some time. Sarita Bayan tells that if anyone hears them. Shahana says I shall sit far from you. Dushyant asks Bikram if he has no control on his mother and wife. Bikram says he has control on them. Dushyant says once Maya and Ranbir gets married, then I will teach you how to control woman. Shahana collides with Alia and the latter identifies her. Alia asks her to wear specs. Shahana goes. Alia thinks Shahana is here changing her get-up and thinks even Prachi might be roaming here with her changed get-up. Madan thinks he has kidnapped both the girls as Alia didn't pick his call. Prachi comes out of bathroom and searches Maya. Mrs. Chowbey asks her to lift her veil and asks why she is shying from her mother. She says she will see her face and is about to lift Gunghat when Prachi closes her eyes. Alia sees Madan going out with the trolley and thinks he has done the work. She goes out behind him. Dushyant calls Mr. Chowbey and tells that mandap will be ready soon. Pallavi, Biji and Bikram set up the mandap again. Biji tells that she wants to slap Dushyant. Pallavi says even she will slap him also, but they get scared hearing him. Madan thinks he has kidnapped two girls and is happy. He gets Alia's call and leaves the trolley. The trolley slides and moves. Abi comes there and asks what is this. Madan hears him and ends the call. One of the bag, Rhea or Maya is inside, falls down. Madan stops Abi and says he will take the bag. Abi asks him what is in it. Madan tells that it is laundry clothes. Abi asks him to open the bags and tells that this hotel is of his friend and him. He says now you will open the bag and will tell me what is inside it. Madan says I told you. Alia comes there and tells Abi that Bikram is waiting for him. She asks Madan to go from there and take the stuff outside. Madan goes with the trolley. Abi asks do you know him? Alia says he is a waiter and tells that he is loose from mind. Abi says I will tell him my name. Alia takes him. Mrs. Chowbey gets Chachi's call and drops the veil back. She doesn't see face and tells that Dushyant is calling them to mandap. Sarita Bayan comes there and tells that Dushyant asked her to apply black tika to Maya. She asks her to go. Mrs. Chowbey goes. Sarita Bayan asks how did Maya get the black site when Prachi is marrying Ranbir. Prachi says you knew it. Sarita Bayan tells that she will call Pragya here. Prachi says she is not marrying Ranbir, they are just delaying the marriage. Mrs. Chowbey comes and takes them. Aryan and Shahana try to make Rahul gain consciousness. Aryan tells that he is not getting up. Shahana tells that they shall light him on fire and winks her eye. He asks why did you wink your eye? Shahana tells that if he is pretending to be unconscious then he will get up. Aryan tells that he shall inform Ranbir and calls him. Dashareth gives the phone to Ranbir and tells that he got it charged. Ranbir attends Aryan's call. Aryan tells that Rahul is not gaining consciousness. Ranbir asks him to take care of his mother and says I will come later with flowers. Dashareth says you are looking tensed and takes away his mobile forcibly. Ranbir asks his phone, but he doesn't give. Ranbir thinks his chief will come and make everything fine. Abi asks Alia what happened to the mandap. Alia tells about Pallavi and Biji's fight leading to the mess in the mandap. She tells that Dushyant asked them to fix the mandap again. Abi calls Vikram. Vikram says my brother came. Abi congratulates him for opening the tent business. Vikram tells that Dushyant has sucked half of his blood and asks if he wants to suck his blood. Abi says he don't want to drink mixed blood. He tells that Alia told him about what they have done and tells that he will stop the wedding. Alia wishes to tell Abi, and thinks if I tell you then Maya's family will ask where is Maya, so it is better that this confusion be there. She thinks Bai wants to stop the marriage, so I have to use Dushyant to get this marriage done, and he shall think that Maya is marrying him. She asks Dushyant to come to side and tells him that she has heard just now that her brother said that this marriage will not happen. Dushyant asks why you want to help me. Alia says she doesn't want Ranbir to marry Prachi and that's why informing him. Dushyant comes and greets Abi. Madan's friends and Dasharat's man comes there and shows the gold coins box. Dushyant asks him to give it to Dasharat. He turns and finds Abi goes. Ranbir comes there. Abi asks when did Sarita Bayan change party, as she brings the bride. Ranbir says I want to tell you something. He stops seeing Dushyant. Sarita Bayan thinks Abi shall not stop the marriage. Prachi sees Abi and gets happy. Madan takes Rhea and Maya in the car and calls Alia. He tells her that when he had kidnapped one bride, he saw another bride and kidnapped her as well. Alia thinks Prachi might be in bride's dress and says you did right to kidnap her, tells that she was her biggest problem. She thinks Rhea will sit on the mandap with Ranbir. Madan asks for money for kidnapping too. Alia says you will get double money and you can get double of double if you kill that second girl. Madan says okay. Alia thinks she is sending her daughter there, where judgment is passed. She thinks you tried to ruin my future, but I will ruin your today. Pragya waits for everyone at her house and thinks what to do. She calls Sarita Bayan and thinks why are they not picking the call. She hopes they are all fine. Ranbir and Prachi sit on the mandap. Sarita Bayan thinks she is very happy today and goes to attend Pragya's call. Dushyant asks Abi, why is he not happy? Abi asks him to stop the marriage for his happiness. Mr. Chowbey laughs and tells that your family joke well. Abi says he is joking. Dushyant says he is saying right. Prachi asks Ranbir if Mara Sir will stop their marriage. Dushyant tells that this marriage will not stop and says whoever wants to stop it, have to talk to this. He asks Abi to tie Gatbandhan so that he and his family don't trouble him. Abi says what a wahiyat, and then says what an idea. He says he will do. Dushyant asks everyone not to do anything else, shows the gun. Now that you are done reading, please don't just leave like that. Click on that red button on your right hand side to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified when we post a new video. And also give a like, comment and share the video to your friends who might need it.